Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, we're going to make this split vinyl tumbler using a couple element sheets from Gracefully Created. I'm starting to lose my voice, so I will be talking a little low. I apologize. You might have to turn up the volume on this one. So to start out, we are using glitter glue from Colorflex on a prepped 32-ounce plump from the Steel Magnolia. I cannot express how much I love these prepped tumblers. I hate spray painting white. I can never get a really good coat of white. For whatever reason, I always get runs. I never get that in any of my other colors. It's just white. We don't get along. So Steel Magnolia having these prep tumblers is pretty awesome when I want to use a white or opal glitter over top. You can also actually use sublimation tumblers for this as well. If you buy sublimation tumblers, you just want to sand the rim down just a tiny bit to expose that stainless, and then use a high grit sandpaper like 320 to 400 and sand over the glossy surface of your sublimation tumbler, and it's ready to go for epoxy. Just sand really lightly so you don't remove that white coating that is on the tumbler. We used Alter Ego to coat this tumbler from PDB Creative Studio, and then once I have all my glitter on here, I'm going to roll it up in that sheet of paper or parchment paper and flatten out the glitter. I'm going to set this to the side for about 2 hours, seal it with Rust-Oleum matte. Yes, even though it's a solid glitter, I still seal my tumblers because I don't want any of my glitter to move around, causing friction and micro bubbles. So once that has dried, I added on 2 coats of epoxy, sanding in between those 2 layers so that it's smooth to add on our white element sheets. Both of these element sheets are from one of my previous bundles with Gracefully Created, so you can find them in the Brittany Barnes Creator section on gracefullycreatedccd.com, and of course you can use my code, which is BBB10. If you have ever tried to cut Aztec print out of vinyl and weed it, it is a pain. So this one just makes me so happy because it looks amazing over any base color. And obviously, since it's a solid cream color, it looks really awesome over this opal as well. It may be a little faint, but it just gives that little hint of design at the bottom that I think gives this overall design a really light and airy feel. It does come in a full 11.5 by 11.5 sheet. This was just extra I had left over from another tumbler. So I just trimmed it straight and wrapped it around the tumbler using the hinge method, trimmed off the excess over top and underneath once I had that in place. We are going to be adding some pinstriping to this, so this doesn't have to be perfect. I just marked it off with my nail and trimmed it to the size that I wanted as well. And we are going to be using the hinge method for this. However, at the seam, I'm going to trim off the little pieces that are cut in half. And then we're going to just individually place these along that seam so it appears seamless instead of a straight line cut down this one. I did have some overhang around the top rim, so I'm going to take my heat gun and just heat that up a little bit so I can get that to lay really flat, and then we'll take our vinyl trimmer and trim off the excess. For the pinstriping, we are going to be using Cricut Pearl, I believe this is. I have had this sheet forever and I got it from Hobby Lobby. But I'm going to just trim off a little piece of this, and then we're going to use the extra to cut our offset for our main decal. I wanted to bring a little bit of that color from the top down into our Aztec print on the bottom. So I grabbed this light pink matte vinyl from TECKWRPCRAFT, and we're going to cut 2 very small stripes out of this one so we can add those beneath our pearl. The Let the Good Times Roll decal is from Gracefully Created that you see in the cover photo for this tutorial. I just popped that on for an example of what you can use and for photos, but we did add a company logo to this one. So once I had my pinstriping on and I added on my logo, it was time for our final coats. Don't forget your gloves and your respirator before you mix your part A and B of your epoxy. If you want to know more about epoxy safety, I will have that video linked down below for you. I always finish my tumblers off with 2 final coats over my decals regardless, and at minimum my tumblers have 4 coats of epoxy just to make sure that they are well protected from minor bumps or scratches that could cause any cracking if the epoxy is too thin. I hope y'all have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below for me and I'll answer them as quickly as possible. All materials I have used will be listed down in the description below, as well as some coupon codes for y'all. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. That really helps us out. That is all for today. Thank you all so much, and we will see you next time.